It's 10:23 for me right now.
Okay, so we're 12 hours different.
Yep. Okay, let me share the link. So yeah, this is the second episode. It is recorded, but
Right.
people don't have to show our face. It's just we can just chit chat anything we want. Where are you from, Frank?
Canada.
Ah,
Yeah, I'm near Toronto. Just want to let you know I never had a chance to speak with you, but I really do like your work. I think you do a great job, and you grind like crazy.
yeah.
I've got some circles of friends online that I've been showing them your stuff, trying to promote you, just so you know. And I think you deserve a shot, a little bit more of a voice and cross-pollination with people, social media and elsewhere. Because there's a lot of guys that do similar stuff to what you do, but it's just not. I don't think it's at the level you're at, especially with your background in working in the Air Force. I think you have a bit of a leg up.
Not
So
Air
your
Force, Intel.
analysis that I look at.
I was
Oh, it
working
was
in
Intel.
Intel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not in Air
Oh, okay.
Force.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Okay. But yeah, I know that you do have a bit of a background, so I suppose it's Intel.
Yeah,
And sometimes it helps with your analyses. I think they're a little better because of it.
yeah. So I was a professional soldier. I was in the army for 6 years. So I was
Oh, okay.
within the Intel umbrella. I cannot share exactly what I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even though by now I think I'm not restricted already because I've been out of the army for a very very long time. But I prefer not to talk about it. Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, because all my colleagues are still in. Many of my colleagues are still in the army, so if it's not that difficult, if you link, then no. If people really
Right.
want to find out, yeah. So better, yeah. It's just in the Intel. I'm not an officer. I was a sergeant. I was a first sergeant. So Singapore rank is a bit weird. Like there's a lot of sergeants. Yeah, because they just want to, they want to ensure that some people can promote. No, and then they feel like they promoted. So like in the US Army, our sergeant is a very big rank. Like it's a very big deal once you're a sergeant. So in Singapore, there's a lot of sergeants. Like you from private you go to corporal, lance corporal, then sergeant, third sergeant, second sergeant, first sergeant. So after first sergeant, you are staff sergeant. So I left when I was first sergeant. If I stayed, then I will be very soon to be promoted to staff sergeant, and yeah. But no, the ranks now are changed. In my unit, because the Singapore came out with this new thing called military expert scheme. So 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 the military the main reason is because the ranks is used to base on combat roles, right? Like all the officers and warrant officers and what is. So the but then by following the rank, there is a time norm. So by certain years you must be promoted to a certain rank. So and then this created a problem because for many roles within the military is very expertise based. For example, you're Air Force technician, engineer, for example, Intel specialist, like you sometimes you don't need to promote. You can stay in that
Right.
job for a long time, and the longer you stay, the more experienced you are in that specific job. It's not necessary for you to always promote upwards. Not everybody is suited to be a director of a company, right? Or a general manager. So the same concept. So they came out with a totally new rank called the military expert scheme. So had I stayed longer, then the rank would change to military expert. Then I will be like officially a military expert, which is all my colleagues are military experts now, which is kind of weird.
Yeah, it's a funny thing about titles, though. Sometimes you just give somebody a higher title without a pay raise, and they're happy.
Yeah, and this is also the reason why, because of my background, and my colleagues, many of them are still in the military. I have no superiors who are a very high rank right now, like I think my former platoon commander, not platoon commander, not PC, my OC, my OC of officer commanding is now like considered general level rank. in this new army thing. Like like Trump created the Space Force, right? In Singapore, we didn't create a Space Force. We created a digital and intel force. So my former OC is like now a very high ranking commander there. So so I would never call myself an expert in anything because it will be a big disrespect to the people who I used to work with, which are the real expert
Yeah,
in
yeah,
the
of
military.
course.
Like they're still in the
Yeah.
military, they're still doing the thing, they are the real expert. I'm no, I'm not. I'm just an armchair general. Yeah.
Wyatt, a question. Before you left, were you in a ME or just specialist?
No, when I was leaving, they were actually trying to introduce the ME scheme, the military expert scheme. So so my scheme is the PP scheme, the premium plan scheme. So
Oh, the older one.
yeah, the older one. So and then I was like, I was one of those people who helped to speak up for the people who's going to stay because I was leaving. So I just I was just questioning because the conversion from the sergeant, the war spec scheme to the military expert scheme changes a lot of things. Yeah. So if I have stayed, I will be a ME. But then whether I will actually go for officer course is another story altogether. I have colleagues that went for officer course after they changed to the military expert scheme, and then they became officer. They go to ME4. I think
ME4 standard for degree, but if you go ME1-1 is standard for NITEC and high-NITEC. So the promotion, for what I understand, is very slow.
I'm not sure about the education system. So for example, if I stay, I will be ME2. So ME1 is like will be like sergeant, third sergeant, second sergeant, first sergeant, if I'm not wrong. ME2 is staff sergeant, master sergeant, and then ME3 is considered warrant officers. ME4 is a second lieutenant, first lieutenant, captain rank. Then further up is all officer rank. There's the major, the generals, and whatnot. Like if you have a ME7, you are like a 1-star, 1-star general. And ME8 is a 2-star general, something like this. If I didn't remember wrongly, the equivalence. But I'm not very familiar though. So that was what it was. Yeah, my colleagues are in those schemes though. Which is quite nice. It created a lot of flexibilities, and people started to able to change units, change departments, and before that it was very rigid. The system was the structure is super rigid. People don't really move around much. Yeah. Hi, replacement.
My question: why you left? Didn't carry on to sign on the contract?
Because I want to chase my dreams, and I'm really. That's one thing. Another thing is if I was an officer, then maybe I would have stayed longer. But the military is not just military. I mean, generally government service is very rigid,
Yes,
and I don't like the rigidness. And I'm not a very disciplined person. Yeah. So it's actually a bit weird that I actually sign on as a professional soldier because I'm not a disciplined person. So it's super painful. Yeah.
Wait, were you the older camo or the pixelated one?
I got the pixelated one. I used the pixelated one. So because I was regular, so I get the pixelated. And actually the pixelated one is actually very good. It's way better than the camouflage one. It's a way better uniform. It's more comfortable as well. I think it's also less hot. Yeah. But my rifle was is largely still M16. I trained on SAR-21 before when I was in the specialist course, but yeah, when I in my unit, we are all using M16.
What?
I
It's
prefer
your-
SAR 21. SAR 21 is insane. So when we go to range, it's SAR 21. SAR 21 is insanely accurate. It's crazy, you know. It's the old, you know, the old Hokkien soldiers, the,
Yes,
the all the old soldiers, they all prefer M16. Like some of my colleagues also, they prefer M16.
They always
For me, it's
brag
like,
about it. They always brag about it.
yeah, but the reality is, in the actual war, the SAR 21 guys is going to slaughter the M16 one. Because it's so accurate and it's so much more easy to move around. And like, it's very funny, you know, those days when they first introduced SAR 21, which is actually my era, when I first entered the army, they just introduced the SAR 21 not too long. They actually struggled to arrange the marksmanship. Like they do not know how to grade it because SAR 21 is way too accurate. It's way more accurate than M16 to the point where they cannot use the M16 point systems for SAR 21. So in the end, the standard was raised so high that I think that you can only miss like two bullets of in the entire marksman the test, right, the range test, the what is it called, the marksman test. You can only like miss two bullets. If once you miss more than two, or I think miss more than one, I'm not sure how much, what is one or two. If it's super, you know,
Should be three.
yeah, you miss more than two, you have no more marksmanship. You cannot get the marksman badge. It's insane.
What the hell?
Super noisy. I can mute you, you know. ZZN, if you want to talk, you can talk, you know.
Who's using the soundboard right now?
I think it's
Switch it off.
I think it's ZZN. Yeah.
Oh yeah, what's up?
Yours.
Let me change my name. How do I change my name in the
I think you have to change your username for the server. You can change like,
yeah. How do I change the username for the server?
I think
Oh,
it's
edit per server profile.
yeah. I think the user setting or something. Yeah. Yeah, it's just insane, you know, how accurate the rifle can be. So, you know, which is super weird, you know, when I watched the Ukraine war, they use the AK and then they just spray. So we will never do that. we do not train to do that. Because you don't hit anything. Like, it's a waste of bullet. Yeah, but it's just a different doctrine, you know, so.
Well, our doctrine is mostly the Israeli doctrine, so yeah.
I'm not sure. I mean, in actual warfare, it's going to be very different. Like, you know, when for example, I ever played paintball once. I think only once. Once or twice. I think once.
Paintball is fun though.
No, but the thing is, when you play paintball, you realize that your style of combat will adapt to the rifle, to the gun you use, because the paintball is so inaccurate. So it's like you have to like, it's like you shoot and it's like it doesn't hit, so you have to shoot a few more times. So I think that's the, and then it's like then you start to like not aim at all. You just use another angle to look at whether you get hit the target, and then just fire sideways. You know, you look from here, but you're firing from the other side. Like, and you see this in the Ukraine war. Like in the Ukraine war, that's what they do. So it's just actual combat. I think is very different from training. Yeah. But I mean the training does help. You know, the military infantry training. When I go to paintball, it's like I just slaughter the you know, because my friend have a, you know, electrical company, and so he have a lot of those foreign workers. So, you know, one of these you know, celebration
Unfair,
event.
man.
So one of these event, you know, this R&R thing, this like they got all his workers to go and play paintball, and I slaughter them.
You're better in paintball than laser tag.
Oh, laser tag! I also slaughter, like laser tag. No, the last time I played I was very
You
young.
have to. I think you have to be more accurate with laser tag.
Oh,
than
yes.
paintball.
So laser tag,
the
I
last
was in my early 20s when I played that the last time. So I was very fit, and then I was like super fast. So that was Like, you just go in and slaughter all the kids, yeah, but because it's laser tag, it doesn't have that oomph. You're not afraid of getting shot. Paintball is very scary.
There's a reason. The last time I played laser tag with my reservist unit also. It was fun. It was fun. They call it cohesion nowadays.
Paintball is more exciting. And
Paintball is exciting, but the injury rate, that's why they don't want.
yeah, so I mean, I only got hit twice. The whole game I played, like we played 2-3 rounds, I think. I only got hit twice. I basically just slaughtered everybody. Like because they have because those Indian workers, they don't have no military training. They just appear and then they can just get shot. Then sometimes I feel a bit bad, because I keep headshotting them, or they're not hiding. It's a bit funny. But I get shot by paintball before. It's like super painful, man. It's just one red dot. It's like, I think that was before that. But I cannot remember when I actually played that, where I got shot. Well, I really have no memories. Yeah. But it's a good lesson, that most people will die in a war.
Yeah, but you already finished your reservist cycle or still ongoing?
No more already. I'm no longer. I'm in the reserve already. I'm no longer. Yeah.
ROD, yeah.
Yeah, ROD already. I no longer. Is a operational ready serviceman. I'm in the reserve now.
I still got 5 more to go.
Oh, good luck, man. No, I didn't complete the whole 10 cycles though. So
But
I never
it
got
should be
I never got the
there's
watch.
condition, like, so you should complete like 4 high keys.
No, because I left when I left the army. I was 26, 27 years old. I only went back like 2 or 3 times. Then after that, I think I didn't clear the security clearance. Then after that, because my unit is unique, so as a result, I think they don't have things for me. There's basically no place to send me to. So just year after year, there's nothing happen. Then also it's funny. They said that my cholesterol is too high, and then they downgraded me, but then I got silver for my IPPT, my fitness training, fitness test. It's super weird. So that was I told the doctor, I told the military doctor, I say, I just got silver for my IPPT. Then he's like, then he was like surprised also. Then he paused for like a few seconds, like, no, still downgrade. So then after the downgrade, I cannot go for reservist. I think that's the reason.
Wait, so that means you down your PES in technical.
Yeah, they down my pass. They don't allow me to go, despite I'm actually quite fit. So yeah, I'm perfectly fine with it, man. It's a waste of time to go back to train.
No, you cannot say that waste of time. It's a good time, it's out from work like 3 weeks, come on.
I'm not an employee. I run my own business. It's a waste of my time.
Oh yeah, okay, that's true.
If I'm an employee, then it's quite nice. Go for a holiday and have tea breaks and
I always look forward to reservists because technically it's a rest day for me, Oh my god.
Yeah. A lot, but it's quite painful. The few times that I went back. Oh my god, the pace is so slow. I can't stand it because I just started my own business not too long, so the pace of life is very fast. And then when you go back to the army, suddenly you just sit there and do nothing. Oh my fucking god, I can't stand it.
I feel the same way.
I mean, for you, it's for us maybe it's like heaven, For you, it's like fast paced. So
Yeah,
understandable.
It's very painful, It's like it's the pacing is so slow. Oh my god. Then you just and it is because you are not even like a active soldier, right? You're no longer a professional or you are no longer conscript. So they treat you extra well, extra patient with you. And then it's like no, go for some class thingy. Then after that, hey, tea break. After that, lunch break. Then after that, tea break. Oh my god, it's like you're constantly just going to the canteen. It's like, oh my, you just keep eating. It's insane. So
no one that see reservists are king. No one there to disturb us.
yeah. So that's There's some experience, but no, yeah, I have left the army for a long time, and which is weird because every time when I think about it, it felt like it's just not too long ago, but actually it's more than 10 years. So the army have changed a lot. Yeah, things that I know is already outdated. So yeah, but no, so when I do the SIP rep, it's actually based on my own experience, listening to SIP rep. So how I've do the SIP rep is very similar to how I have done the SIP rep for the Ukraine war. So actually it's very similar. Yeah.
Yeah, in the next 10 years, we're gonna see DPA, Defense Private Army from Wyatt.
Yeah.
No, I'm serious. Like DPA, the Private Defense Army, DPA Financial Holdings, DPA Logistic Company, all that stuff. We have a lot of talent.
Used for an army.
Yeah, the problem is actually we have really a lot of talented people and interesting people in the DPA community.
Yeah,
The
we got
problem is
pilots. We got people that used to sell jets. Yeah, we
Programmers.
can get like a DPA private fleet.
Yeah, we have people working in the semiconductors in Taiwan. The problem is it's the legal situation. Like you can do projects, but then after that you're gonna go into problems. Like who owns what. The legal part of things is very difficult. So yeah, so I'm very conservative. It's like, okay, no. There are people who have
And then how are we
me.
gonna split the profit?
Yeah, it's gonna be very complicated. Like so, it's very difficult. Like and also if anyone misuse the branding, the DPA brand, then I will get into trouble.
Yeah.
Because the lawsuit will come to me. So yeah, so it's not so straightforward. As much as the idea sounds really cool, yeah. So which is why a lot of people have quite a number of people have approached me, especially in 2022, to want to dub my stuff or redo my stuff in another language, and I just rejected a lot of them because no, I cannot. I lose control, and then they are using my branding, and then if they say something wrong or they do something not right, then it becomes my problem.
It's your brand, dude. Keep it.
Yeah.
Don't
So,
give it away.
yeah. So
Wait, got one question. Why never sell merch?
because I do not know how to deliver to the whole world, because the community, my audience is the whole world, right? Like some you have to send some stuff to Australia, some probably is United States, some Canada, then some Europe. I cannot figure out how to get this thing to work in a sensible way, because it's not just if I don't care about the merchandise costing, and then of course then the merchandise will be very expensive, then of course it can be delivered, but the thing is going to be expensive, and then people is going to like spend $50-$80 thinking that they are supporting me, but the reality is that the cost, it will be so high. I actually will be getting like $5 per item maybe. Then it's like, but they think that they have spent $80 on me. So I don't want that kind of like a misunderstanding. I rather they just donate to Patreon. They just join a Patreon, like that the money is more direct. Then the merch is like yeah, I think you will just eat into the support, financial support. Then like until I found a way. Until I find a
Can we
better
buy
way.
a DPA baklava now?
Sorry.
You said merch. Can we buy a big DPA baklava now? Like headscarf.
Yeah, not yet.
DPA on top.
No, the reality is that I have thought about it a lot. The problem is how to deliver it in a way that it makes sense. Like people actually can support me.
Can you make an online merch shop, or you already have
I can,
one?
but the thing
probably?
is the merchandise, where it's going to be made, how it's going to be shipped. For
Delivered.
example,
The logistic chain is really difficult.
that is the logistics
Oh,
that's the
yeah.
problem. So
I
for
didn't think
example,
of that.
it used to be you produce it in China, and then then you ship it across the world. But then you need someone a company in China that is willing to take the project. That means is willing to keep all the stocks, and then handle the one-to-one shipping. Because if they ship it to Singapore, the Singapore shipping is very expensive. Like to ship out of Singapore
Yeah,
is super
so
expensive.
you need to pay someone in China to do that.
Yeah, it makes no sense.
For you.
Singapore is a transport hub, but freaking hell, to ship a shirt, a freaking t-shirt, no, it's $30 to United States. It makes zero sense, no. Like,
that sucks. Yeah,
it's like,
that's more than the shirt.
and then it's super weird because then you see in United States they can send from something from Florida to California like for like a few a few dollars, $1-2.
Yeah, but it's also the other way around. When it's like somebody sent me some cannabis seeds from California to here, he paid $30 for that, just for an envelope.
Yeah. So
It's crazy.
like internally they are so cheap, but
Yes. No, not really. They got a lot more expensive internally, depending on weight. If you're trying to send something that's like bags of soil or shit like that, forget it. They will. It's very expensive in the States. I just know from a couple people I'm online with, and we talk sometimes, and they've been complaining about it.
Yeah.
That shipping is crazy.
Yeah, so that's why I was thinking if I were to do it seriously, then there will be multiple production places. There will be the one in the United States, one will be in Europe, one will be in like say in Asia will be China. So and then from China you ship to other Asian countries or to Australia, there will be no tariff. No, it'll be like a low tariff. No, it'll be cheap. It makes sense. You can't send it from China to United States anymore.
Resort to smuggling.
But it's cheaper to have the factory or whatever in United States, and then you ship out across to the rest of the United States to Canada. So then Europe will have its own thing. But no, it's like it's a lot of work for very little because DPA it's still a very small community. Like my fan base is still very small. It's really not worth the time.
You can like put it up like a merchandise, like people pay you to get the license for the logo and shit to make T-shirts, and then they sell it, and then you get a percentage.
Yeah, then that will get back to the same problem I was mentioning. I lose control of my brand. Then after that, whatever they do.
Oh yeah, shit. Yeah, right. Sorry, they can do whatever they want.
I wouldn't know what they do with my branding, right? So that's a bit dangerous. I rather not.
Sorry.
I mean, it is. I mean, some people they will do it. No, but I don't dare to. Because I do not know what is the implications. We like especially I'm not like pro Ukraine, although I'm also not pro Russia. But the thing is that people assume that I'm pro Russia or something. Then who knows what kind of shit they will pull on DPA.
Yeah, it always depends what's happening on the battlefield, because you just like tell us what's happening on there, and if the other side is getting a little bit stressed, then they will let it out on you.
Yeah, so I have to be very careful to manage.
But it works from both sides. Like the pro-Russian side gets angry at you too sometimes.
Yeah. When Ukraine do well, they do well. I just say that they do well. When the pro-Russians all get triggered,
Yeah.
It's like what you want me to say? They fail. They fail. So, yeah. So, but yeah. So I think the only other way is that the merchandise have to be not depending on the fans. That means the product is so good to the point where people will buy it, like even if they do not know what is DPA. So yeah, I have this discussion with history legends quite a few times. We never came up with a solution. We did talk about maybe we'll work together on that, but
we need a DPA slingshot.
Yeah, like patches, hats. I have a lot of ideas. Like so many ideas.
Wyatt.
Yes.
You got those grayed out figures. You have that sort of aesthetic on your website, right? Where you have like Putin like grayed out. You know what I mean? And other figures.
Yep.
That's such a sick idea for a T-shirt, like one of those figures, maybe some kind of soldier, like a Wagner thing, like a Prigozhin or something, but like grayed out on a black T-shirt, a little subtle. And then on the side, you've got just the DPA logo, or on the back or something. And the DPA logo is hardcore too. It's a very good, elegant, militaristic, good logo. And you've got that red coloring. I think you've got some definite potential for some sick T-shirts and hoodies and mugs and all that kind of stuff.
And I'm a graphic designer by training actually. So my other profession.
Yeah, well, it shows. Yeah.
So I could have designed all these things easily, but It's just a matter of like, how do I manage the logistics? So which is the main reason why I'm holding back. Like now it's even worse. So before that there isn't this trade war. So now so I was still thinking about, okay, I produce the stuff in China, and then I'll maybe ship it over to the United States, and then there's a hub to ship out from. Now it doesn't work. Now I gotta get tariff. I'm gonna have to pay for the war in the south. And pay for some cartel wars launched by Trump. Against these cartels in Mexico. I have to pay for it.
Or you could pay the cartels to ship it for you, and they could disguise your T-shirts inside of bags of cocaine.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Is Trump gonna try to do a two-front war with the cartels in Venezuela, or is he only gonna go for Venezuela because he's afraid of the cartels?
I think they're trying to rack up XPs and train the logistics of like logistics planning and all that stuff behind moving like small teams and stuff to, naval warfare and combined warfare.
They have to train that shit, right?
Hmm?
You think they use it as a training ground?
Yeah, they're
For
just.
the
I think
Taiwan or
they rack
whatever?
up XPs.
Uh,
Yeah. Rack up XPs and train the new staff because the staff from the
What if
GWA
that
era.
backfires though? But what if Venezuela somehow got some shit from somebody else? But I don't think so.
That is not a problem to them. Like obviously they got good enough PR games that they can mask all that. They're trying to train how to move the things, how to like the logistics are behind it, personnel, training, staffing, all those things that will sit in some PowerPoint or some PDF file somewhere. They want to get that.
Hmm.
So no. But I only saw the Venezuela one. All I know is that Trump sent ships, destroyers to off Venezuela.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Like he's going all in probably, or it's just like posturing.
Nah, I don't think he's gonna
It's
do
like
anything.
showing strength after like getting fucked over by Putin and the.
But you never know. You may never know. Suddenly you got the Gulf of Tonkin issue again. Some sort like that.
Yeah, dude, just like inside terrorism, just sink a ship and claim it was the Venezuelans and then go to war. Oh shit!
Yeah,
But
you never know.
they don't realize that Venezuela has a jungle like Vietnam did. That's not nice to go in there.
But you don't need to conquer the jungles. You
Oh
just
yeah, you can bomb it too. Yeah,
you just
burn it
need to
down.
conquer
That's true.
the
That's
government buildings.
perfectly true. That's what they tried.
No, the
in
thing is,
Vietnam.
to take over a country, you just need to take over the government buildings. No, and if Maduro goes into the jungle and still claim to be government in exile, he have no power. Yeah, so he have no money.
Yeah.
He cannot pay the troops.
That makes sense.
People will just turn against him. So
I accept that totally.
yeah.
See you guys.
I just had a brain fart.
See
It was like,
you.
whoa.
It's just funny, Alex Jones was like, he tweeted and said that he supports the taking
How
out.
is this guy still around with like the drinking blood of babies and shit, and he's still there?
No, because a lot of things actually he became even more popular and more credible as the time goes by, because a lot of the things that he said turned out to be true. Like the frogs turning
Yes, some,
gay, and
but mostly was all crazy bullshit. Breitbart News, is that him too? Yeah.
I don't know.
It's just like a disinformation with a little bit of truth in there, just to get the people going.
I just like to hear him talk because he got this insane low voice, then very rough voice, and then he just get very excited. So
it's almost the same character as Alex Jones, dude.
Like it doesn't matter what he say. I just just say nonsense is perfectly fine. I just enjoy what
Like how he does it, like how he brings it over. He's a good actor.
Like he went the most entertaining.
He brings
one was
them
that,
emotions, huh?
The most entertaining was he went on a Teamcast IRL, then along with I think and who Joe Rogan. Oh my freaking god, that was insane, man. That episode. Alex Jones, Joe Rogan, Tim Wu, whoa. Like, oh, that was like, legendary. So, but he's just making a living. He's just trying to do his best. He's towing a very dangerous life. Like, he's revealing things that people don't want people to know. Like, yeah. So, yeah.
It can backfire sometimes, but it doesn't have to.
Already backfired. He got debanked. He lost. Like, he got sued.
I don't know what's
Yeah,
up
he
with
got
this kid.
sued.
I'm not following.
He's a
it.
bankrupt.
Wow.
He got sued to bankruptcy. And then owe insane amount of money. Yeah, because I think that was the lawsuit regarding one of these school shootings, and then Alex Jones say that the school shooting is like fake or something, and then so someone lead the parents into some sort of like a class action lawsuit against him, and then and then ask for some insane amount of money, and yeah.
It was like $1 billion.
Yeah, it's
for
like
him saying
What
that
the-
was a hoax.
yeah, the money that he will never be able to pay. So
Yeah.
So I mean, this is quite scary as well. So no, I don't want to get there. I know when to self-censor. I'm not gonna be so. stupid.
Like something about Brigitte and Macron and stuff like that. Like,
Yeah,
don't
why
say
you
anything.
get into that, man? like why you want to get into that? You get into that, it's like you're pitting yourself against the freaking
It was just
leader
an
of a
example,
country.
dude. Shut up. I just switch off my mic.
Yeah, I mean, it's like like Candace Owens, just like pick a fight with the freaking leader of a country, and then of a nuclear power. It's like, what? Like what you I don't know. I'm not that insane, I'm not that gutsy.
Candace Owens has some political clout, She's not a nobody.
Candace Owen?
Once you reach that level of having, millions and millions of followers, it seems like you can even go after, leaders of nuclear powers. I mean, at the end of the day, what is this going to do to Macron? Is it really going to hurt him? It's just some celebrity bullshit at the end of the day, right? It might hurt him a little.
But then why are they freaking out about it so much?
I don't know. They're French. They're an emotional people.
The levels they're going to like discredit this celebrity rumor are highly suspicious.
Yeah.
You think it's true? Macron's wife is his dad.
No, not his dad.
He's
Oh
just
wait, I'm getting them mixed up. What happened?
He's just a dude.
It's just a man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's better, I guess.
Better.
Yeah, that was RL's theory.
No, it's
That it was actually his own thought.
no. The problem is, it's not just a dude. Is that when you trace back the timeline, is that would make him a pedophile. That's the problem. And then Macron become allegedly groomed into this partner. So that is the main problem. It's not just like, yeah, she's a man or something. But she does look
A big part
weird.
of the story is how much control they have over the French media. So that is also of note, that they can bury stories and frame the narrative so easily. That seems very problematic
In
in
one thing
terms
I've
of having a
noticed
free
about
press.
yeah, I think that the press in America and Europe are totally diverting right now. I was talking to RL the other day, my people, that he was talking about how in the French media they're still pushing the pro-Ukraine narrative really hard, almost as hard as they did in the initial stages of the war. Whereas in the United States media, I wouldn't say it's like pro-Russian, but it's pretty neutral, disinterested at this point. It's pretty suspicious of Ukraine, even in the mainstream media. I'm I really am talking about, this is the real mainstream media, CNN, NBC. If you look at it objectively, they were super pro-Ukraine at first, but they've stopped, And I wonder what you guys think. Is this a deliberate strategy between within the Western Empire to have them split and have this divergence, or is this sort of a genuine split in the Western Empire, in that Europe is sort of going in its own way, America's pulling away from Europe?
I think the Americans want out. They want out, leave it to the Europeans, still buy American weapons, supply Ukraine, and they can go after China then. That's what Hexet said, or Vance said in one of those speeches. This is like...
Hexet, yeah.
Yeah. He said it live on camera, dude. It's like... it's crazy. And people don't get it over here in Europe. But, okay, I'll switch up.
No, it's okay. You can keep it on because everybody's muted. They're so quiet.
I just want to give chance for everybody to speak. That's why.
I'm looking for that speech. I wanna read it here. I think it was about 6 months ago, right? Here it is, I think. I'm just trying to track it down. Yeah, 6 months ago, U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth issued a warning to European allies, urging them to spend more on defense. Okay, I need to find the actual speech transcript here. I guess it was in February.
What is the big news happening over the past week other than this Zelensky meeting? Zelensky, Trump, NATO, don't know what the hell is that.
The Europeans.
Yeah. After that, like nothing happened, right?
Here's the speech. I found it. Yeah, no, this has been kind of a slow week, actually, I think.
Yeah.
Am I missing something big?
I think all the big things is happening inside of United States. Like, the troops in DC, really get the law and order into it. And then Trump want to send more law enforcement and soldiers into other cities. And then John Bolton, I think I just saw the Twitter, he's now getting investigated. And then the Venezuela thing. But it's all very American centric.
Yeah.
Like,
a lot of America stuff, yeah. I mean, DC is being federalized. Trump has said that he's going to send federal troops to Chicago and New York in the future, which, I'm all for. I'd love to see that. But I don't know if it's actually going to happen. DC is a special case. Yeah, it's all America-centric, though. That is true. We don't have very many Americans here, I don't think.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's Tech Dip and you are Americans here. Johari is a Singaporean. Frank is Canadian. The replacement is clearly German. I'm not sure about Delta.
Yeah, just half German, but German.
Yeah.
Frank, what's happening with your prime minister? I heard he got emotional damage when he was not invited to the White House to party with Zelensky. I think Frank is busy. I think he muted. I think he cannot hear us. So so sad. He deafened himself. Okay, he's not hearing us.
After sometimes too, like when I enter a room and I don't switch on the camera for once, the microphone stays off even if it's on.
Yeah.
But it's just with the phone, with the iPhone. It's just probably a bug.
No, Frank muted us, so he cannot hear us. So he turned off not just his mic, but he cannot hear us.
He's deafened.
Oh,
he's deafened himself.
Okay, he muted everything.
Yeah.
All right. Now it's a big.
Well, here's another topic. Is so what's the story with Kupiansk? If you want to switch gears to that,
Sure.
before the main open mic. I mean, because I saw these reports this week about there was a group, of Russians that were found in the Russian troops in the center of Kupiansk on the east side of the river, or I should say, the center of the east side of Kupiansk. And that seemed to be totally disconnected from where any front lines were in Kupiansk. So I wonder what you make of those reports, Wyatt, and
Did
what
anyone
they,
see the
what they mean.
Andrei Matianov clip like from 2 days ago, where he hinted like there's some miners doing tunnel work and shit and driving tanks through tunnels? And never heard anything about it.
You think that's going on in Kupiansk? Man, that'd be amazing. It'd be crazy to see more pipe, more tunnel.
I think
Yes, I was waiting for it too, but nothing ever happened, dude.
I think it's just Ukraine losing manpower too much. They just cannot secure the front line, and then the Russian troops just keep sneaking through. I think
that's possible.
I think that's mainly it. But the thing is, I think the Russian soldiers are also the units are ordered not to push, like not to conquer the city. So as a result, then they just only send in DRG and just stir shit, and just to attrition the Ukrainian forces to conduct ambushes.
Didn't they change their tactics, like saturate an area first with drones and rockets and artillery, and then send in like 2 or 3 man groups of soldiers, like small groups, but many of them,
but that is
like to destroy the bunkers. So because of the drones and shit that is still flying around, because if we send a armored vehicle, it's gonna get hit.
I think that's only if they want to conquer the place. Like what I mean is
that's a pretty good tactic, actually, if you think about it.
I think they are just ordered not to do it. I think that's the main thing. Yeah, so the commanders on the ground just send in the DRGs to conduct ambushes and
or throw mines into bunkers and shit.
Or set up traps, like just to stir problems, because like maybe the orders is not to conquer Kupiansk at this moment. Like the same thing for Pokrov. No, they could have pushed Pokrov and captured it. Like given that they have already so many DRGs running around in the city, they could
shouldn't be the main task be like go after the supply lines and close them up.
Because once you take the city,
then you lose.
But you lose the kill zone. You see, because these cities are magnets for Ukrainian soldiers. The Ukrainians will not want to lose the city. They just keep sending troops into it. So if you conquer it, then you just push the front line further to another place where you have a weaker control. Like Kupiansk is pretty vulnerable right now, and then Pokrov is entirely like a death zone. I would say.
Yeah.
Like the Russians have already map out the whole place pretty clearly. So yeah, I'm not sure. No, so far the total collapse only have a hint of it from the Pokrov breakout, but that it haven't happened yet. Like there is a hint of it, but we shall see. The Russians are very unpredictable. They sometimes you expect them to push it, but they don't.
I don't think the Russians have pushed an advantage in in a real way in the entire war. I mean, they not immediately. They push somewhere and then they push somewhere else and then they come back later. I mean, this is it reminds me of chess. Right? This is the classic sort of strategy in chess. Is once you make a move, you don't just keep on doing that same thing with that same piece. You go and move another piece. Now you look at what's opened up. And you keep on constraining the opponent. It's like a anaconda. And the thing about this is that what you're trading is time. You're taking a lot of time to fight this war, and so that makes me wonder, like, are they going to accept a peace deal? After they've at this point, after they've gone and executed this extremely slow strategy that takes a large amount of time to pay off. Are they just going to take a peace deal and let Ukraine go from their anaconda grip? It doesn't make sense to me at all. I don't think there will be any peace deal. I think this is the both sides understand that there's not going to be a peace deal, but they do want to be friendly.
Sorry.
Yeah, well, so I think what's happening is the Americans want to be friendly with Russia because for various reasons, and want to let Russia fight in Ukraine with their full endorsement, at least privately. But in order for that to happen, the U.S. needs to continue supplying Ukraine. Otherwise, the war is just going to end. It's a very strange paradox. And so the U.S. is not going to want to supply Ukraine directly. Instead, it'll supply the Europeans, and the Europeans will supply Ukraine.
The U.S. wants the Europeans to give all their stocks they have left of whatever it is. It's probably not that much. Give it to Ukraine, and then probably get new stuff, maybe 2030, 2035, 2040. Because without Chinese rare earths, there's not much production in the MIC, I think.
So they're weakening. They're making Russia strategically much more threatening to Europe this whole time. That's quite interesting. It's a strange.
That's kind of weird, though. Why would you do that?
So I'll talk to you guys later.
Yeah.
Nothing makes sense, dude. Sometimes it's like you cannot see behind the real ideas they really want. Like same thing with Trump. It's not like the tariffs is gonna be paid by the other countries. They're gonna export less to you, but the tariffs are gonna be paid by the fucking consumers, dude. Like the importer is not gonna sit on it; he's gonna give it over to the consumers.
No,
The people who get it.
But I think I explained last week, right? So the thing is the exporters will be asked by the importers to help to absorb some of the tariff price. So
yes, but Walmart was fighting against it. Didn't you see that?
No, but the
Walmart
thing is,
was like,
it will still be the same thing. Though eventually, because it's either because you have to understand that it may sound very simple. Like for example, because we only see China, United States. The reality is
but the problem with China only has of the overall exports, only 15% or maybe 18% go to the United States, and the United States think they have a pressure point, but
because
a lot of it goes through third countries.
Yeah, the reality is way more than that. 15% is direct.
It's more than that. Okay, I accept that.
The others,
because you're right there.
The others go through Thailand, Vietnam, Malaysia. They just change the label and then they ship to United States. So
it's the same.
The percentage have not changed
China
at all.
then.
Because the market didn't change at all. The reality is that the only country that can buy a lot is United States and Europe. So
that's what I tried to tell my sister. Like when the war in Ukraine started, she was like, don't buy oil from Putin, blah blah blah. And I was like, hey, the oil you don't want to buy from Putin, the world has to drill first. There's no way you can just put up more oil overnight and just don't buy the Russian oil. What happened? We're still buying heating oil, Russian heating oil, but from India. So nothing changed.
I think they can increase the oil output overnight, though, because they have done that before.
But no,
like the OPEC countries.
Yeah.
Those can do it, yes.
Yeah,
but they won't because they want the price to be
higher, right?
Tell the price.
Yeah. Why drill more?
But they could.
Yeah, they could, but they wouldn't want to.
Yes, but why lower your prices by
increase profit margin, right?
More?
Yeah, increase the profit margin. Why sell lesser?
Why would the prices lower if we drill more then? What's the difference?
Yeah, but you cannot drill more.
So
what was it with the fracking gas? How much does it? What price does it need to be affordable in the United States without?
I think it's 80. I think over 80.
Substitute, 80, 85, 86, something. If it goes below that, shit is going to the drain.
Yeah, I think the main thing because OPEC is not a free market. Like they agree that everybody.
They decide that shit.
Yeah, like the percentage, all is relative. So there is no competition. The competition comes from United States, maybe Venezuela. I'm not sure. So there is actually not much other alternatives. Other than OPEC. So and Russia play along with OPEC. So they'll all make sure that they only pump the same ratio, the same fraction. They're not going to pump more. So everybody secures their earnings. So there is no true market competition unless it's Iran. But that's why they sanctioned Iran, see? And then there's Venezuela, and then there's United States. United States is the only one that's like really competing with OPEC. So yeah, which is why the Europeans are buying more American energy and getting slaughtered by it. That's the main thing. I think I just I wanted to say about the tariff thing. I was trying to say people tend to look at it from this is a trade war between China and United States, and then the Chinese is going to absorb or not absorb the tariff, but the reality is they are all individual companies. So the exporters are not, there's not just one exporter, there's a lot of companies that can export the same thing. So if you don't absorb the cost of the tariff, then you may lose the business to your competitor, which is another Chinese company, which is willing to absorb more of the tariff. So that's what I'm trying to say. Eventually, they will share part of the tariff. They may not be paying the whole thing, but they may be paying part of it. Didn't
they put up a law that makes the exporters say don't absorb the prices? Wasn't there something like that?
In
I have
China?
it in the back of my head.
In China?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I don't think that's a doable thing, because you're going to lose your business.
Yeah. I'm not
Because
sure.
you have to understand. Okay, so
this is like something.
I
in
can
the back.
share. You
I
can
cannot
do
remember
this.
where I got that from.
No, you can do this experiment. You just go to Alibaba. You just search any products you can you want to imagine. Any for example, a bed or a shelf or a bicycle. Just the same design, you're gonna find at least 10 different manufacturers doing exactly the same thing.
But it comes all from the same factory, dude.
It's not from the same factory. It's not from the same factory. It's
another
from different
example,
provinces.
Cannabis growing lights. There's Spider Pharma. There's some other three companies, but they all have it manufactured in the same fucking company in Shenzhen.
So but some of it
It's
is
just
not.
three different brands, but they have the same shit. You can even interconnect it, and it works with it together.
Yeah, so you have to. So how you know is going to be different is you have to look at the company, where is they located. So if they are all Shenzhen, then it's going to be all Shenzhen, because it's not the brand, it's the location.
Probably.
So they have another province that is doing exactly the same thing. So maybe for example, bed frame. So for example, I bought a bed frame for my mom,
Sorry,
right?
I got it wrong. Yeah.
The bed frame design is almost exactly the same from another place.
But they compete with each other, right?
Yes, they compete with each other. So the problem with what I mean by the tariff, why some of them will absorb at least part of it, is because they are competing with each other as well. So if either you have lesser profit margin but you keep your customer, or you lose your customer and you don't earn the money at all. And then the problem is that it's not just about the profit margin. Is that even if you don't have no profit margin, you have zero, at least you still pay for your costs. You can pay for your workers, your rent, and then make sure that your company can continue to survive for another month. That's why they will absorb the tariff. It's not just don't make the money, because you already. So a lot of these companies, I think it's very similar to all around the world. A lot of people who start businesses, they borrow money from the bank. So and then they sign a contract for the rent. They cannot not have the business. They have to absorb the tariff.
Yeah, but
continue to.
What
pay
was
for it.
about when the ships stopped coming in? The first time, Trump put up tariffs.
It was
And 2 weeks
chaotic.
later, the ships come. There was almost no ships coming in.
Yeah. So
That doesn't look like the exporters eat it up.
no,
They just stopped sending shit.
So what happened was that the importers in the United States all canceled their orders.
Yeah, because they had their warehouses still full, and that
Yes.
works for 2 months.
So-
and then when their warehouses are empty, then they're fucked.
So the
And what happened later? The terrorists.
So before the April, right, they already know that the trade war is going to start again. So everybody ordered more. So if you look at
Yes,
the export numbers,
exactly.
increase.
You can see the numbers. I see
Yeah,
that
it's spiked.
it goes up.
So everybody already know it's going to come. So when the tariff actually hits, everybody just stop buying. So and all the shipping just stopped. So that 1 month was totally go into chaos, and there are people who have even confirmed all this have been cancelled. So quite a number of companies basically just shut down. Some of them, the boss just run away. They in the middle of the night, they took all their machines and run away. Like they transported all their machines away, and then the workers the next day they come to the office, suddenly it's empty. They go to the factory, it's empty. So like I'm not saying like all of the industries like this, but some of the industry became like this. So no, it's actually very damaging to China, and it's not just that. A lot of the China bosses, they have no regards for their workers. A lot of them. For them is that they have to secure. It's a business, right? So if there's tariff, then they move their business to Vietnam. They just start the business in Vietnam, and they hire Vietnamese, and then they just continue to have their good life. It's not so straightforward like people think. It's so simple.
Actually, why the USA got deindustrialized, because the industrialists and everything moved their stuff into China because it was cheaper to produce.
Yeah, so now they move all the
It can happen to any country,
Vietnam.
actually.
Yeah. So what happens is that then these bosses now transport everything to Vietnam. That's what Apple did as well. Apple moved all its machineries to India. So it's not like this kind of thing don't happen. It's just people.
Well, like Apple is trying to produce iPhones in India for the US market, and then Trump comes in and puts up 50% tariffs, and then Apple is like, we're gonna invest 600 billion now in the US.
Yeah, so and that's also why
it's like nah.
No, so that's what I said, in one of the open mic, I think the last one or the one before, I said that I suspect that the excuse Trump put, the Trump threatened the reciprocal, not the reciprocal, the secondary tariff on India. No, they say that it's Ukraine war, India is buying Russian gas, so they want to tariff India additional tariff, right? But only India and China. Now, I think the aim is actually not Ukraine war. The aim is actually Apple. They're targeting Apple and basically make a point where
I really think the aim is like he wants a Nobel Peace Prize for bringing together China and India.
It will never happen. Trust me.
No, it won't.
never
But
happen.
yeah, but
Yeah,
I'm just joking.
the differences is too huge. But I think that I suspect there is part of the consideration was that by tariffing India, Apple will have no choice but to cave in to Trump. So it's like and it's a game of chicken, right? Tim Cook must be thinking like why would Trump ever dare to piss off the
There was a
Indians?
chess move by Trump to fuck
Yeah.
Apple.
Yeah, it's a game of
Yeah.
chicken. And then Trump said, no, if you dare me, then I'm going to do it. Then he pissed off India, pissed off Modi, and then put Modi's election future into a big question. And it's like, he don't give a fuck. And then he's like, no, are you happy now? And then Tim Cook surrenders. Okay, you win. And then they don't invest more money in the United States. I think that's probably what happened as well. It's not entirely everything, but one of the aspects. So it's quite crazy. It's insane that the world that we're living in.
That reminds me though of another story, but it is, again, it's American centric, that the US government bought like 10% of the shares of Intel. So now the government, so America owns the, I guess not majority, but like the most
Like a single shareholder with the most shares, is it?
right. Yes.
Yeah.
And like on paper, we've already increased the amount by over $1 billion. I think it was 1.4. But I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how that translates to actually getting money to our government and deficit and debt and all that.
I mean, there's dividend, right? So, if Intel makes money, there's dividend going back into United States. Because now Trump is creating a sovereign wealth fund for United States. So I think it's going to be the biggest in the world. Like, when it's done and due, I think it's going to be the largest wealth fund, sovereign wealth fund in the world. It's going to be super profitable because, United States control everything. It's like gaming the system. So maybe this part of this Intel stock will be put inside that fund. Yeah, and then your 401k, all this will be secured, man. It'll be so secure. Because Singapore is
I hope so.
because Singapore is powerful. One of the things Singapore is powerful is because of our sovereign wealth funds. We have 2 sovereign wealth funds, and so both of them is relatively considered does very well. So I think the Saudis have theirs as well. UAE has theirs. Qatar also have theirs. So like United States having United States the richest country in the world. So it's gonna be insane.
I always hear that the United States is the richest country in the world, but I don't understand how they come up with that if we're like $34 trillion in debt.
But that's
How
the
we could be the
government
richest.
because that's the government in debt. It's not the people. The people are rich.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Like
so-
the people are the richest in the world.
Yeah, I mean, collectively as a country is the richest. So, I mean, I think I think the debt can be cleared very quickly if everybody just pay for it. Like, just share in the cost. Easily. What's the debt now? I don't even know. US debt.
I think it's like $100,000 everybody would have to pay.
Oh, that's a lot
It's
of
a
money.
lot.
That's a lot. I see the debt clock, 37 trillion, I think. Million, billion, trillion, 37 trillion. Okay, 37 trillion is too much.
Yeah, exactly.
37. How many zeros is that? 12 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Divided by, I think you guys have 300 million people around there. Yeah, it's about you're right, $100,000 per person. Yeah, that is too much money. It's not. I don't think the Americans have so much savings.
No, I don't understand why they cannot copy like Singapore system. Like every month we have so-called CPF.
No, they have a 401k thingy. So
But that one is only personal based, not to the government either way. What?
no, I'm not sure. Actually not sure. Bridget, do you guys contribute to the 401k, right?
Yes, but it's in private businesses in the stock market. It's
Yep.
not through the government.
So yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. So in Singapore system is that we contribute to this fund, but then it's controlled by the government. So the government will take our money and then invest in some things. We don't know what thing. It's always a secret. And then they will promise us an interest.
Yeah, that's why we don't take debt. So usually that's the money, the pot of money that we always use.
401k. Who actually manage? Employer may match employee contribution. Okay, that's similar to Singapore closely. Government sponsored retirement account. Yeah. Then employer contribution. Then who invests in it? who do the investment? Employees choose a specific investment held within. Investment offering includes stock, bonds, and mutual funds. And wow, okay. Yeah, Singapore is a bit different. We don't get to choose how to invest in the money.
So does this mean that the open mic, the YouTube open mic is going to be today?
Yeah, I have scheduled it
Okay.
for like 2.5 hours from now. I don't dare to put it too close
Okay.
because I scared I need a nap.
Yeah.
I'm feeling like
I don't get the notifications.
yeah, let me check.
I have every bell checked. I'm
Yeah.
subscribed still, and I
Yeah,
still don't get the notifications.
yeah, YouTube hates me.
Yeah, they really do.
Yeah.
Suppression.
Yeah, I call that suppression. I do not know what to do for them to love me. I always try to say Slava Ukraine all the time, so no. I did my best.
You know what's weird? Those generated video AI but pro Ukraine get more views than you.
What to do?
I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah. But I think the AI stuff is going to destroy YouTube, man. If there's too much content, it's all AI generated. I think the viewers are going to get sick of it. and now it's like it's quite bad. Like sometimes I'm not even sure if this real. Like I think I saw a channel that uses Jordan Peterson's voice and say some interesting things. But then after a while I realized it might not actually be something he said. He's like they just use his voice. That was like, oh shit.
I mean, that's what happened to scam nowadays in Singapore. I mean, they're using Lee Hsien Loong voice and people still buy it.
Yeah. So I'm not sure. YouTube is like I saw even those those big channels that I used to follow, that those with millions of subscribers, their views is fluctuating really badly. Like because now YouTube recommends based on the topic, it's not based on the channel. So as a result, if you talk about something very obscure, you're not gonna get views. Then so as a result, like even I follow someone with like millions of views, this like his content, some got million views, some like get like very little, like 100,000 or less. And it's like I'm quite sure they are going through depression. you can't run your life or run a business, right, when there's nothing can be predicted. Like everything is like totally random. Like you cannot even make investment decisions. Like because some YouTubers, some of their their videos are expensive to make because they go out to the place to film it. Maybe there's actors, there's props, like there's cost to their videos, and then you do not know whether people will actually get to will watch the video or not. Like that's insane, man. I cannot imagine the stress. Like I'm already very stressed, so I cannot imagine people with overhead, with staffs, with a high cost of production of the video, and then you can only do one video at like a few days or a week. Like how do you survive that? My God.
Hey, Wyatt, I got a question. Why you never do like super panel or go towards like those like Duran or the Daniel Davis, something like that?
Do you watch Daniel Davis?
I got watch, I'm subscribed to him, but sometimes he's a bit,
Yeah, so that's the point, you see?
I mean,
He has good guests, but you know how he evolved from his views from the beginning to the end. Like he was very anti-Russian at first, and then he changed. Did you see the evolution? That was kind of.
But the problem is, I think maybe in the beginning he don't know a lot of things. So as he bring on the guests, then everybody start to educate, and he realized that there's a lot of things is information war, and he realized who is actually winning the war. Then he started to become more anti-Ukraine, or maybe at least more neutral. I think that's the main thing. Like the problem with Daniel Davis is that his videos are too intense. There's way too many videos every single day. He do 2 live streams and then he posts videos, and there's no human that is ever able to finish all of those. Then
what I'm saying is like the interviews or the people he gets for interviews are very interesting, but the stuff he does by himself is kind of like.
No, but the thing is, the people he invites also he keep inviting them back. So it's like I'm not sure if it's repetitive. I don't watch anymore, or actually I don't watch at all because I can't stand.
Yeah, sometimes do.
Because I can't stand Ukraine war stuff.
A little bit.
But the thing is, you for example, if you compare his channel to maybe like History Legends, like sometimes you feel like obligated to watch because it's only once a week or once every few days. But when you have a podcast on a daily basis, and then you don't have only just one episode, you have like 2 or 3 episodes a day, then it get very watered down, and then all your content is cannibalizing each other. and then the viewers give up because it's like sometimes loyal viewers want to watch every single thing. I know that there are people who watch my videos, like even my videos are shitty, sometimes they might still want to watch it because they want to support me, they want to watch every single thing that I put out. But Daniel Davis videos, it's not humanly possible to watch every single thing, because if you watch every single thing that he posts, you have no life.
You forget Alexander Mercouris. He has 1.5 hour videos sometimes, but it's
Every
going deep.
day.
It's going deep though. But
I watch it at 2 times speed.
But you see that
that helps.
one video a
What
day.
really helps with 2 times speed is like Noam Chomsky. He talks so slow. If you watch him in 2 times
Yeah.
speed, that's
Just
like
nice.
normal speed. That's perfect.
Yeah, that's
I'm
like
sorry
my
to
good.
say it, but he's a bright mind. But I have to watch him in 2 times speed,
No.
otherwise I fall asleep.
But once a day is okay. You see, once a day for the hardcore fans, you can follow. You see, like you can don't watch everything. You can don't watch Brian Belletti. You can don't watch DPA. You can don't watch everything. His friend Alexander. Like he can don't watch.
Calibrated.
You can don't watch Calibrated. Like you just watch this person because you trust his view, so you can follow. You see, but once you reach a point where you like Daniel Davis, content strategy where he just spams video, like it became impossible to follow. And then that's the problem why I don't do the super panels that often, because you have the Duran already, and then you have Daniel Davis. You have Calibrated. Sometimes they invite guests.
You could break down the super panels into different regions of the world.
But I don't.
Yeah.
It doesn't add anything anymore, because like people is probably gonna see certain views from other places.
Yeah,
like
it's
you
the
understand?
same with the channels in Discord, right?
Like is like
we talk about Israel in the Ukraine channel because
and
it's the main channel for everybody.
and then and the thing is that if I don't because the Ukraine war universe is very small. It's always, especially for the neutral or pro-Russian sphere, it's always those few people. So so you realize that even Daniel Davis guess is starting to repeat itself. It's always those few that keep coming back. Is repeating. So there's a limit to how many people they can actually bring on. If you are only focusing on this sphere. And if I go to do invite guests like scholars or academics on the show, we talk about Myanmar civil war, there's not going to be much views. That's a big problem right now that I face. Like it will not worth the cost, the time and the effort and the person's time. So I don't want to waste other people's time in that sense. So yeah, that's the main thing. Like I cannot, like I don't want to, like it's just not worth it. I'd rather just do a Ukraine war report. I probably get more revenues for now, because now the revenue is the key because of the overhead.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because that's for every channel. So if a channel does a video like on an African conflict or Myanmar or any of those, they don't get the views, so then they never cover the story again.
Yeah, and that's why I say the YouTube algorithm is breaking things, because last time that's also my view that okay, now I have a platform, so I can inform more people about a certain thing. But the YouTube algorithm now is that if you don't watch a certain thing in another place at the first place, then YouTube will not recommend it to you. And then so it's like only the popular stuff get the compounding effect, and then the things that is less interesting will get totally swiped away. And it's like I did the Haiti video. I know about the Haiti situation, and there's a lot of research and effort to put into it. The video is pretty long, 15 minutes, I think, 50 minutes. There's like 4,000 views. It's like 4,000 views is like between $4 to $10. And then the hours I put in is like I'm earning way lesser than a McDonald's worker. So I'd rather go and work McDonald's in that sense. There's no return on investment, and it's not doable. It's just not survivable. It's not that the information is bad or no, it's not worth doing it, but it's not sustainable. Yeah, so that's the sad thing. And for think tanks, academics, people working in the academic fields, like think tanks, institutes, there's those institute that is packed to universities. They can do that because they can do very obscure topics because they are all paid a salary. They have research funds
Yeah.
and so I like in Singapore there's at least 2 or 3 think tanks that covers geopolitics, and it can be very obscure things. It can be like about Indonesia's some political thing, or it could be like the Malaysia's new prime minister or new whatever, something. And if you put it on YouTube, nobody's gonna watch. But they can do it because they are academics, they have their think tanks, they have fundings already. So
Yeah, I watch a lot of those and they're very interesting, but because they're like neocon think tanks, I just think, oh, am I even getting good information?
yeah, so that's the conundrum also as well that I face. So unless there is another income source from perhaps the think tank part of DPA, then it's very very hard to do content that is less popular. So after a while, I
Yeah.
gave up. I just like, okay, I'm just going to do all Ukraine war. That's it. That's what I did for the past few months. Like I just give up. Like I did the trade war and everything. It's like a lot of the things I said just all came true. But there's no point. Nobody watch. Like between 4,000 to 8,000 people. It's like it's again not worth the time. I need to pay my bills.
Yeah, of course.
I don't know. So that's going to be very bad, when Ukraine war ends, because there's no way I can diversify, because YouTube will not push it. Yeah, and then YouTube only wants you to do viral stuff.
Gaming channel
I have
cat channel. Have a cat channel. Turn the DPA open mic into a cat channel, and then turn the other one into a gaming channel. Then have another one talking about other stuff.
I already have a gaming channel. I have a DPA gaming. I haven't done much there.
I know there's not much on there.
Because I'm lazy to edit. I think gaming videos, the problem is that you need to edit it for it to be watchable.
Yeah. Or you do live streams. People like live streams.
Yeah, I did do it. I did do it before, but I mean, yeah, because the Ukraine war is very taxing. So end up I didn't do much.
Yeah. There's a lot more to get.
I very much prefer to do gaming videos. If I find an easy way to do it, because it's not political.
Yeah, you
I don't have to suffer.
argue and reason with anybody. Just like play.
Yeah, people, I know.
If you don't like the game, they go somewhere else.
Why never get some sponsorship like the not VPN or some shit?
No, the because it's not worth the time. Because my viewership is too low. So in the end, I'm not gonna earn much from it, and yeah, and I do YouTube is try to also avoid like this project
you should
based.
keep the open mic, no matter if there's wars or not. There will always be wars, dude. Come on.
True.
Yeah, open mic will continue.
Look in the past. This is like every year there has been a couple wars. What?
Yeah.
Open mic is always perfect, dude.
So open mic
You
always
cannot
works.
go wrong with that.
So the problem is open mic now, it struggles to get subscribers. So maybe because I don't clip the things out. I have no time to clip the things out. So that might be a thing. But of course, open mic is a very difficult thing to get into for the
I know.
uninitiated.
Not everybody likes watching that.
Yeah, but
most
because
people cannot
once you
stand
get used to it, like once you start to recognize the regulars, then you will get addicted.
Yeah.
You will start to get addicted.
I know. You're like, oh, there's a community here.
Like like Wayne comes on and everybody like, oh shit, he's on. Like people know.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, so the I if I go to push open mic, open mic can become a full-time job all on its own, because editing the open mic stream, because it's such a long stream,
So
just
much work.
editing it is a full-time job, man. Just to put
Oh,
it into
shit.
videos.
I thought it's all AI now. You can just like let it.
There is, but the thing
Like-
is, it's not super reliable. I mean, I did try.
You still have to check it.
You have to pick, because the AI will break down the whole. So I have I use this AI tool. It breaks down the whole 6-7 hours, and then
Yeah.
but the thing is, the way the point where they cut it may be a bit weird sometimes, and they generate shots as well. They generate the clips as well. They generate the chaptering as well. But then you still need to go and look into it. You have to spend hours to go through and see what is suitable to put as a separate clip, because there will be like 50, 60 clips, or at least 40 clips. Then you have to choose. You can't, because there's only so much airtime, in a week before the next open mic
Yeah,
comes.
double speed or triple speed. Just like put up the speed.
Yeah, so if you watch the open mic channel, there used to be clips. So some of them is
Because
actually created by the
you
AI.
lived through the open mic yourself. You were there, and if you put it up the speed, you can just like still hear the words, and then remember, and you'll be like, oh, stop here. Let's look.
Yeah,
That's
so
what I saw.
So like, for example,
Hello?
like I did post some in January. So I think some of these are like with AI and stuff. They don't get much views, like only a few hundred, like 200, 300. Some maybe get 500. No, mostly less than that. Yeah. It got worse because the algo changed. Long time ago, it seems to do much better. Now it's just get worse and worse. Like in the past, you can get like more, just more. Yeah, it needs its entire own strategy. Like I see DPA open mic like a separate thing from the main channel, like the main DPA. So it's going to like spin out into its own thing eventually, I guess.
Yeah, I think so too, because it's like people like that stuff. It's like an open platform for everybody to come on and talk if they like.
Yeah,
Come on.
and open mic is the reason why I don't do more super panels, because I don't see the value of talking to famous people. Yeah, because if you throw open mic, you already realize that there's so many smart people around. They're just not famous, I rather create my own stars, like my own famous people. Like now like everybody knows, like at least in the community, everybody know who is Prata. Everybody knows who is Vaughn. No.
Yeah, everybody knows Craig.
So so we have our own stars, you see. We have our own famous people, and we know everybody brings in a totally different perspective. I mean, if I interview someone famous,
Whatever happened to Wolf, the one that made the intro music?
or Draku. So
Yeah, Draku.
yeah, I think he's just busy with life. He's just
Is
busy.
he
with life.
okay? I hope he's okay, dude.
So far we checked a few times, he's okay, and then occasionally he
Alright.
appears and he talk. Like I think not too long ago, I think just a few months ago, he came on.
I was just wondering because I haven't seen him for a while.
Yeah.
Not
So
that
he's just
something
busy with
happens.
life. I think I remember him
that's
saying
okay.
that he's also, taking a break away from all these things. Like, it's tiring.
Yeah, I can't see that happening because it gets depressing over a while.
Yeah.
That's like I put my hat off like to you. Like, how can you do that all the time? Like especially with the mapping, dude. I tried to do it the first 4 weeks, 5 weeks, and I was so pissed off, dude. What the fuck? How can you do that without flipping out every time? Because you get all the wrong shit from both sides, and then you have to find the dude.
Yeah. So this is
fucking
which
crazy.
is why I have two maps. I don't have one map. That's why
I
have two
know,
maps.
I know.
Because if you have one map,
that's a good,
then you
that's
have
a
to
good
decide.
way to do it.
Because if you have one map, then you have to decide what is the truth. But you see, that is a
Yeah.
wrong way to do journalism.
You don't want to do that.
Yeah, the journalist you try to find the truth, but the thing is you do not know if that is the truth. So you can only
No,
you can
you
only
cannot know. We're
quote.
not there.
Yeah, you
That's
can
the
only
problem.
quote, you see. You can only
Yeah.
quote the source. No, even if you know that is that's entirely lie or totally inaccurate, but you just quote it. No, that's proper journalism. You do
It's
not.
the fuck of war, yeah.
Yeah, once you start to make the opinions, then you're just an opinion writer. You're not a journalist. You're not reporting. You're
This
just
is the dangerous part. This is like what I say, like it's difficult. And you do it.
and I think that's maybe because of my what I experienced in the military. Because in intel, in intelligence, you don't know what is the truth. You have
You want to leave the emotions out.
yeah, you only know every information that you get is just a signal.
Just a part.
It's just a signal. So it's just a signal of what could the truth be. So you do not know that for the truth. So that is you don't make a lot of assumptions. So you try to find what is the closest thing to the reality or the truth by having a lot of information from all the different sources. For example, through satellite imagery, through signal intelligence, through spies, and then all this information you put together, and then the analyst would put everything together and decide and kind of find out what is the truth. And maybe through the combined intel, you'll realize that something major is happening. That kind of thing. For example, certain troop deployments, like even when the troop get deployed, maybe the spy saw the troops came out, and then they check, and then maybe the different units started to use the radio sets, and then signal intelligence capture the intercept the signals, and then start to transcribe what is being said. And then maybe then by having all this information, you have satellite imagery to try to capture where they might be going, like all this sort of things. And then why they move to the certain place, where are they going, are they planning something, then sometimes it may refers to like maybe they are changing base, or maybe they are trying to do a military exercise, or maybe they are going to attack us. So that's what the intel do. And so it's also like maybe it's just habitual, like you don't assume that that's the truth. And maybe like even like the enemy can
You just evaluating every piece of information coming in.
and there's such thing called mix.
Yeah.
There's also such
And
thing called
you
counterintelligence.
don't value it. You just evaluate it. Like
Yeah, and there's also something called counterintelligence. Counterintelligence is they deliberately put out false information. So, for example, like in World War II, they do that as well. They in like before they launched the Normandy landing, they actually they created a lot of conversation through the radios to make it seems like they're going to land in another place. So that is counterintelligence. So not every single information that you pick up is going to be true. So the analysts have to do all this job. So this is what I do in the Ukraine war. I just pick up all the information, and then I have to decide what makes sense, what don't make sense. So I don't assume everything that I said, be it the Russians or the Ukrainians, is true. I just so the only way to know, you have to map it into the map. Once you map it into the map, then you start to realize certain things don't make sense. For example, Ukraine will say that there's fighting in this position, but the front line have already moved. And for the Ukrainians to be fighting in that position, is they have to overcome certain geography. That it's not possible, like there's no way they can get there. So that's false information. So that's how I do the analysis. But I'm not sure how other people do it. So yeah, it is what it is.
if you implement the terrain of the area, the high grounds and the low grounds, like Calibrated does it sometimes. He sometimes even calls the moves, like the future moves, and then it fits. It's kind of impressive, though.
Yeah. So usually I just think why you want to attack in this place, because the Russians they can attack anywhere, right? So why attack in a certain place? So I'll try to think what is important from this direction, where can they go, what are the important strategic things that they can do. For example, cutting certain roads, taking certain strategic points. Then but then in my video I say that maybe I don't know for sure. I just say that maybe that this is gonna be happening. They're probably doing this big arrow movement. Who knows, man? I'm just saying that it's just a way to understand why they attack in a certain way, like because you don't attack for no reasons. I mean, you can attack for no reasons, no, but you attack usually, there's a general idea of where you're gonna go, and then the thing is, I also
usually there's an agenda behind it.
yeah, but the thing is, I also don't know for sure. Sometimes you when I say that this maybe they are going to do this, but then they stop. They just stop attacking. They just stop the operations entirely in that front. Then all I can say is that the latest updates, the latest information or the update is that the Russians have stopped. I'm not here to be an oracle. I'm not here to predict. No, I'm just reporting and analyzing based on
but if
available
you look at the
information.
patterns, they sometimes stop, then they wait for the Ukrainian reinforcements to come in, and then they start again.
Yeah,
This is
or they attack
always
another
like
place.
this is always like a push, pull, grind.
Yeah.
It's always the same story, and they always fall for it. That's why I don't get it.
But then what I was trying to say is that a lot of people who follows the reporting by various people, they miss understanding how report works. They keep expecting people to make good predictions. You see, but the thing is, when we do,
it's hard. Nobody has a crystal ball.
You're not supposed to be
We cannot
predicting.
look into the future. We can just assume stuff.
Yeah, you're not supposed to be predicting. Nobody can predict the future.
That's impossible.
Yeah,
it doesn't work out. Once you do that, you're already I won't watch you anymore.
Yeah.
It's just general now, not about you.
Yeah. But the thing is, sometimes you see on Twitter, see the people talk, the way how they have expectations on the content creator or the analyst or the open source intelligence. Is like as if they expect these people to make good predictions. But the thing is that you're not making predictions. You're doing analysis based on available information. That's what we do. It's not, you're not predicting. Even like investments, like those traders, right? Those traders, fund managers, they don't know. They are not doing predicting. They are only investing based on the best available information and what is the best investment they can invest in. It's not, they're not predicting that certain companies are going to become very big, Yeah.
What is the topic now?
The topic
Hello.
The topic is anything. We just happen to be talking about.
We can talk about anything, whatever you bring up to talk about.
Yeah, let's talk about the SMO and Pokrovsk.
Yes. What about Pokrovsk?
It's gonna be interesting because in a couple of months we're gonna hear Pokrovsk was totally unimportant.
It's already strategically not important, right?
But the problem is, after Pokrovsk, there's nothing. It's just a field. If I got it right.
It's all small.
So they can just push.
Remember
If that thing falls, they can push. But I'm just an idiot that doesn't know shit. I just hear a lot of voices.
There's also a push in the north, right? Which allegedly the EFU has basically stopped. This one could also penetrate into the open farmlands fields without fortifications.
Yeah, that's the aim. So I believe that's the aim. So
yeah, you think they would no fortification? They have to do new fortification lines, otherwise.
Didn't the Ukrainian create a so-called Surovikin line behind the?
They should. Yeah. Otherwise, they're lost.
They should, but with what men?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah, but the thing is, if you have those trench digging machines, I don't know if the Ukrainians have them. They should have them. This is also the attack.
I think they use excavators. I think they use excavators. They I don't think they have the, at least I never saw it. I know Singapore have. the trench digging. Like they just go
Yeah,
and
those
then
are fucking
they just dig out a
awesome.
trench. They're super
You've seen
fast.
them live, right?
I think the Russians may have it.
The Russians have them, yeah, but I'm not sure if they have them there.
Yeah, the Ukrainians are not. And it's really pointless to dig trenches, like unless you're just like defending that place for a short time. Like if for long-term defense, yeah, it doesn't work. In modern warfare, like that's what we say in the beginning of the war, right? Why the hell are they doing
Especially,
trench warfare, right?
What do you want to defend on an open field?
Anyway, so that what is your analysis for how the will progress now, based on the casualties and frontline changes?
Yeah, we don't even know if their 1.7 million casualties number is real, though.
I think
there's some people arguing from the Russian side it's only 750,000. So
I think it's pretty close.
Yeah, it should be, because the number I see from, for example, from Andrei Matyanov is 1.3. But that's not only KIA. That's also wounded, I think, if I remember.
Yeah. So when I was doing the prediction for the total collapse thingy, when I was talking to the AI, I keep telling the AI, I think there's gonna be like 1 million casualties, or dead.
The problem with the AI is,
and that was half a year ago.
It's a yes man.
Yeah.
Like whatever you ask or however you frame your question, it's
Correct.
you have to do like you have to ask indirectly to
Correct.
get an overall overview.
So
Otherwise,
that's why
you get always get the yes man. That's what I figured out after a while.
it's just a
You see it
calculator.
the same way?
AI is just a calculator.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not. So that's why I use
Yeah,
it as
please
a
don't
tool.
implement it in here, dude.
Yeah, it's just meant for you to
Because we
crunch.
were asking about it in Commander chat, I think.
Yeah, it's not a truth. It's not a truth sayer. It is a.
No.
It's just a tool to help you speed up the crunching information and crunching numbers. So
Yes.
instead of you doing it manually,
to get an overview of stuff. But if you ask certain stuff, it will always be a yes man.
yeah,
That's what I found out. Even if you keep on
you
asking.
can always massage it to say whatever you want.
It doesn't help. Yeah, it doesn't help.
So that's why I know when
Anyway,
I did my one, I have to massage it to the point where he understands my point of view, and then he can do the analysis based or calculation based on my understanding.
Exactly.
So
yeah,
that's what I
bad.
do. I'm not saying that they come up with the answer. It's basically we came up with the answer based on my specifications. And
I figured it out pretty quick with the AI, because I'm using 3 different ones, and I'm asking like the same question, and then I ask you from a different view, and then I get all kind of different answers.
correct.
It's kind of funny sometimes.
Anyway,
If
one of my
I
main
have no life,
questions-
dude. I have no shit to do.
if you ask AI,
One of-
AI
one
will
of
always
my-
say Ukraine is winning. So so
That's so. Anyway, one of my main questions too is when, in your opinion, will the peace talks end? Because I think a lot depends
They ended
on the
now.
end.
it's ended. There's no more peace talk.
What?
Yeah, Zelensky said no. He's gonna reject everything
won't-
Trump said
There won't be a peace talk.
already.
Yeah, I okay, yeah, I did see that, but like,
So that means it's gonna end up. Okay, I'm gonna jump out of the window and I'll probably fall on my head, but it's probably gonna end up Ukraine gonna be somehow landlocked, because Russia cannot have weapons coming in over the sea into Ukraine.
well, that's not how.
There's trains and everything, but sea is you can get a lot more in over the sea.
No,
You see,
well, I
the
think
Ukrainians and the
most-
Europeans deliberately say things that contradicts the war objective of the Russians. Like the Russians want Ukraine to demilitarize and become neutral, but instead now NATO or Europe wanted to train the Ukrainian military to be even stronger than they are today after the
That's what they did
ceasefire.
ever since Minsk too.
Yeah, but the thing is, they said it just a few days ago. They said that after they have a ceasefire or the peace deal, they're going to build the Ukrainian military even stronger. So by saying that, it's like there's not going to be a deal. There's not going to be a deal. So
No, there's
just
no
by
deal.
that point. So no, and
Yeah, well, that's obvious. But the question
Because
is,
first they
when
said
will
there's
the
no
peace?
NATO, and then a couple days later they said like, oh, there's gonna be something NATO-like. It's
yeah,
like, fuck off.
whatever they're doing now
Well,
is already NATO. No, Article 5 works
Yeah.
exactly as what it is right now. That's Article 5.
Yeah, but Article 5 is not binding.
Yeah.
It's
So
just
that's what they're
you
doing
know.
right now for Ukraine. They are literally helping Ukraine the way how NATO Article 5 works.
Yeah, because Ukraine has ever been a partner in NATO. Just like the Swiss are not a NATO partner, not a NATO
Member.
dude, even Russia was a NATO
not a
partner
NATO
until like
member,
2022.
but they are a NATO partner. The Swiss are a NATO partner over different fucking what is it? Partnerships or whatever, but it's all with NATO. But then officially they're neutral and they're not a NATO member, but they're a NATO partner. That's for the
So-
Swiss now. So
Anyway,
that's
Zelensky
probably
said he'll
what they're
still.
trying to do in Ukraine.
Anyway, Zelensky said he'll still meet up with like Putin and stuff and discuss like territorial changes. And
Yeah, what about
like,
why should Putin meet fucking
Yeah,
Zelensky? Anything else?
well, Putin agreed to it already.
Or no,
That
he
time
did
has
not.
come and go, man. It's already gone.
Yeah, only if he accepts to the fucking shit, but he didn't accept, so there's no agreement.
The question really is, what will Zelensky offer? I've seen that apparently
He
one
cannot-
like Ukrainian diplomat proposed like giving up the territories de facto, but not recognizing them as Russian. I think this is pretty much a scam. Like
Yeah,
Ukraine,
it is a scam. This is like
Yeah.
bullshit. This is like impossible stuff
The-
he wants.
and they
The
Ukrainian
latest-
diplomat
That's
said
his way
that,
of saying no.
The latest information there is the
please
Russians
stop
already.
interrupting me.
So the latest information, the Russians already say that they are not going to meet Zelensky. So
No.
there's no meeting planned. Clearly, no
Yeah,
meetings
that's what I
will be
heard
planned
too.
because
That's what Lavrov said.
yeah, because there's no common understanding. There's no common agreements. So nothing's going to happen, which is exactly what I've said that no, this is going to be the case. Yeah, I predicted the same thing for the Istanbul peace talk. Like I know nothing's going to happen. So
Aren't they open to like? Isn't the Russian delegation still open to like a trilateral meeting between Trump, Putin, and Zelensky? Like, to my knowledge, this is what they are open to.
but I don't think they're gonna have a deal. So because they have nothing to agree upon, so there won't be a meeting. So there's
Yeah,
no
look,
point to meet.
I absolutely agree with you that the peace talks will fail. The question is, how will they fail? Like, I think everybody knows
You
that
already failed.
they're not gonna
As long as
fail.
there's no meeting, it's
But-
fail. There's no meeting, it's fail. As long as there's no meeting, it
Huh?
fails. As long as there's no meeting planned, it will fail. That's all.
Well, but to my knowledge, as I said, to my knowledge, there is a trilateral meeting planned.
There is a proposed by Trump. Hope that they will meet, and then they have to have certain agreements before they meet, and then they don't have any agreement, so no, nothing is planned. And the thing is, they deliberately do it in a way that there won't be a deal, and they will meet. It's plotted exactly, very specifically to make sure that it fails. So there's
I absolutely agree with you. But the thing is, I think the main goal of each side in the peace talks, except for the USA's, is to make the other side look like it's the reason why the peace talks fail.
Yeah.
To ruin the other country's image, and especially in front of the eyes of the American public and Trump. So, and how do you think who do you think will be blamed in the end for the failure of the peace talks?
everybody will just blame everybody. So that is
Yep.
it's just
Okay.
it's just going to go back to the same point. Trump is going to claim victory. Putin is going to blame Zelensky is going to blame Putin, and yeah, that's it. And everybody just move on and continue the war to fight the war. So
Yeah, but like the public, like who will the public
will
recognize
depend-
as like?
but depend on who you ask, man. It depends on where they already stand. If they support Russia, then they will support Russia. No, if they support Ukraine, they will support Ukraine. No one's going to change their views. So the only solution is a military solution. That's why I keep saying, no, there is only the military solution right now, unless
I
Ukraine
agree
change
with
their
it.
point of view. But at this moment,
But
Ukraine will
like
not change.
But like when it comes to like Trump's meeting with Zelensky, I think it was pretty clear that Zelensky was misbehaving in the meeting. Like everybody with a brain knows that, except for like the most like pro-Ukraine idiots. And I think similarly, there will be a clear side that will be able to be that can be blamed later for the failure of the peace talks.
But the thing is, it doesn't matter. The thing is, these are all non-matters, because you can already blame, let's say from the Ukrainian side, they already can blame Russia for bombing this thing, killing that person, the children, conquering place. Like the meeting alone doesn't mean anything. Like to blame them for failing the peace talk, it's just going to be a headline for for 1 or 2 days, and that's it. And people moves on. So
Well, right now, around 69% or so of Ukrainians are for peace talks, and only 24% want to keep fighting. If Zelensky does not want to like give up territory, that will look pretty bad, even in the eyes of the Ukrainian people, since they don't want this war to continue.
Yeah, Zelensky's kind of crap. If he stops the war, the Azov guys is gonna get him.
Yeah, there's no other way, man. To be honest, it's literally fight to the last Ukrainian. That's it.
Yeah, there was like a video, and I don't know what Zelensky really wants, to be honest, but we can only speculate. But there was a video in 2019 where like he was meeting up with like some soldiers on the front lines in the Donbas, and was telling them to give up their weapons and stuff like that, and they just refused and called him a loser. And he said, "I'm not a loser." And yeah, basically he couldn't do anything to stop them.
that was but that was before, when he just became president, right?
Yes, of course,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
like what I'm saying is that either way, either he wants the war to continue himself, or he wants it to end but cannot stop it because the military is the true one in control. The military can just overthrow him if they want to.
I actually disagree. The ultra nationalist formations is already largely destroyed. There is no more. I would say the ultra nationalist force is very, very weak right now, if they are even exist. Like they are largely all destroyed, especially in Mariupol. A huge chunk of them all gone in Mariupol. So and then the rest is just enjoying their life in the real positions as PR people. They because they are already like well known as of people. But
Well, I would say most of the army is ultra nationalist. Like even in 2019, I know that this was before Mariupol, but in 2019, most of the army voted for Poroshenko, who back then was like the candidate of the ultra nationalists, whereas Zelensky
Yeah,
was more of the
it's
candidate
not
of the
only Azov,
pacifists,
it's the only
liberals, and Ruskov.
ultranationalist group. There's a couple of formations in there.
yeah, but most of
Well,
them are dead right now. So most of them are dead.
well,
So you have a few.
Yeah,
You
but
have
they
the right
kind of still have some
sector.
power over Zelensky, I think.
Yeah, but
There's still
well, most
Budanov
of the
around
army
and stuff, but I think he's one of those.
Well, most of the army right now rejects peace talks. They support Zaluzhny, who's like a warmonger,
no
and I
the
think this also says a lot about the ultranationalism of the military and their Russophobia.
no the thing is, I think the even the ultra nationalist is different right now, compared to early in the war or before the war, because early in the war and before the war they think they can win. Right now, everybody knows they cannot win the war. So I don't think the ultra nationalists have the
Okay.
power to make any decisions, because they themselves are corrupted. They are corrupted people. They just want to cosplay as a Nazi, and they just want to enjoy their life. So it's not the it's different. No, early in the war, they are still strong, and then they think they can win the war. They can play out their fantasies. As some war heroes. But now now they are just keep losing. Every day. They are losing grounds every day. So I think it's a very different thing. Zelensky can perfectly stop the war right now, if he choose to. I think he can. The thing is, he won't, because why stop the war? Because I think he's benefiting somehow. I do not know how.
Because NATO says so.
Yeah, I think he's
They're the money
benefiting
givers.
somehow. And
look,
I don't think Ukraine could sustain by itself with their own production of weapons or whatever longer than half a year.
I think
a lot
without
of
outside
Ukrainians
influence.
still, a lot of Ukrainians
They're
still
trapped.
genuinely,
They have to do what the NATO says, dude.
a lot of Ukrainians still genuinely want to think that they can win the war, though. Like I said,
I know, but
24%.
that's the propaganda.
so.
What do you mean? I know they can't win, but like 24% of them still genuinely believe this. Like they're delusional. They
No,
think
because
they
Yeah, it's the same
can
thing. Like
actually
9
win.
million Israelis think they can win a war against what, 65 million or 80 million Iranians. That's kind of weird.
no, the
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, but like, look, I'm mentioning this because I think that the military is exactly part of this, of those 24% that want to fight until the last Ukrainian.
No. The 24%. Some of them are, like, for example, they are students, so they can say whatever they want because they don't understand. Then there are also they're just rich people who can pay off, and they will just protect their butt, and they're gonna vote or they're gonna write that they support the war. I don't believe anyone really wants to fight anymore. But the thing is that the power structure means that you have to fight on. If you look at what happened in World War II, towards the final year of Nazi Germany, I can tell you most of the Germans don't want to fight. Even the generals themselves, they feel like the solution is to surrender.
Like 14-year-olds fighting and shit.
Yeah, and it's only the Hitler
That's kind
youth
of weird.
is actually
Just the totally propagandized people.
Yeah, only the
there was a
Hitler
part
youth are still fighting.
That kept on fighting.
It's the Hitler youth that are fighting. Towards the
Yes.
end. It's the real
Totally
army
crazy.
is already disintegrated.
Propaganda is for the bone.
Well, look, it actually depends on the region. Like, I'm not 100% sure, but I think like half of like, not almost half of like Galicia and Kiev still think that they can win and they want to keep fighting because
Maybe.
of the massive. What?
Maybe, but it doesn't matter because Zelensky will not give up the war until, I would say, 65 to 70% of Ukraine land is taken by the Russians. That's what I think. He will fight it on. He will push, regardless. Yeah. Of course, whether there is manpower to fight is another story altogether. I'm just saying that the reality
Even
will
if
only
it takes
set
4
in.
years, they're gonna landlock fucking Ukraine because that's the only thing they can do. Otherwise, it will be a loss.
Yeah.
Because they can get weapons in. It would just like slowly bleed the Russians. That's the problem. They're actually trapped by NATO right now. Even if they win their war, they cannot win it in a long run. If there's Chinese help or Brazilian help or BRICS help or whatever. That's the problem. They're trapped right now. Even if they win it right now, the Russians. That's what we all have to consider.
Ukraine isn't a sovereign state either. Like, I think
they have no say. Hey, dude, the headquarters is in Wiesbaden, Germany. The NATO headquarters. They direct most of the war or the special operations or whatever. They claim they only do the support shit, but they do everything.
Yeah, well, and I think this is like in a lot of ways a quote unquote existential war for Britain, because this is basically the only way for Britain to become an irrelevant power. So this is why they want Ukraine to
you just said it. You're relevant, not relevant. They're gonna jump off the cliff with that shit.
Yes, Oliver. Hi,
Yes,
Oliver.
Oliver. How are you?
Oliver, we cannot hear you.
I cannot hear you. Wait, switch off my mic so you can talk. Hi, Oliver.
Yeah, your mic, there's a problem. We can only hear ourselves at times. And your own voice is super soft. No, so I said 65 to 70% mainly because it is only when that happened he realized that it's entirely lost. There is no way to gain or win anything, and most of his enemies or people who might assassinate him is all dead or become pointless.
Well, the question is, will Britain and the EU accept this?
It doesn't matter. The war is over. No, once you have 65-70% of your land is all taken, it's over.
That's the fucking part. He just said it. Like, NATO cannot accept a loss.
Do you hear me now?
They cannot accept a loss. Yeah, we hear you. Perfect.
Okay. Yeah, sorry, my
I
cable
said-
is shit. Bad.
I think that it will be very dangerous for NATO, for both Britain and the EU, if Russia even takes 70%. I think they'll just try to keep going and try to keep helping Ukraine, because, like I said, this is the only chance for Britain to become a relevant power again, whereas the EU will be able to collapse if Russia reaches Odessa and Galicia, because then countries like Hungary and Slovakia will be able to leave the EU, and also Romania if a right-wing populist government takes over there in a few years. So they can't allow Russia to reach those areas.
Yeah. So that's
Yeah,
why
I mean,
you
there are a
basically just
couple
said
of
why
workers-
the Russians cannot go to all the way. They cannot conquer the whole of Ukraine, because if they conquer the whole of Ukraine, they will end up in a World War III situation. You cannot. The Russians cannot go to Poland. They cannot have a common border with Poland. So they will leave. They will conquer 65-70% of Ukraine and just stop there. The Western Ukraine is going to be left alone, and then they'll become a North Korea or whatever. No, they.
Yeah, the thing is,
Well,
like Poland,
Well, in such a
Romania,
case,
Slovakia, Moldova, they all have territorial historical claims on land.
So it will be Russia will
It
just
will
set
be-
up the shop,
There
take
will be
whatever
an
they want.
infighting in the NATO.
Yeah, so they will let the Russia will take whatever they want, and then the rest of the Ukraine is going to be all the disputed places with Hungary, with Moldova and whatnot. Then let them have their own Royal Rumble, because by then Odessa will be under Russian
That's
control.
gonna happen.
You mentioned
Odessa will be
I-
under
I
Russian
do not
control. They have a
see-
land route to Transnistria. They will have a land route with Moldova, Romania, which means they will have a route all the
Hungary,
way
I
to
forgot
Slovakia,
Hungary. Yeah,
Hungary.
that too.
They
I do
don't
not
need to
see-
they don't need to deal with Ukraine anymore. So that will be safe. You cannot go all the way to
That
the
I
end,
don't-
because what will happen is that you will have the Korean War all over again. What happened in Korean War is that the United Nations conquer almost the entire of Korea, then they reaching the Chinese border, and because they are so close to the Chinese border, the Chinese military entered war. So you don't want that kind of situation, because they will feel threatened and they will enter war. So the Russians must stop. They cannot conquer all of Ukraine, or it will become a wider war.
I mean,
That I don't
first
think
of all, I
Poland
doubt
will do.
the EU ability to push back. But for example, you say that Poland would take back quote unquote historical lands, or Hungary,
No.
right?
I'm not saying they will. I'm just saying that the Russians will set it up in the sense that everyone will get very itchy, because you
Can I
have
say
a very
something?
weak Ukraine there.
I don't agree with you. Like, I think Poland will not do anything if Russia reaches the Russo-Polish border, because Poland has already said that they don't want the war with Russia, and they
Is-
generally will not do anything.
It won't be up to
for
Poland to
this
decide. It will not be up to Poland to decide. It will be NATO that will be deciding. They will not let the
Why?
Russians get close
Where's
to
the problem?
Poland.
Poland has no
Where's
say.
the issue? What? How? Poland has one of the biggest militaries in NATO, and right now
It doesn't
they
matter.
don't. They don't.
NATO has to hand over it.
The Poland does not support Ukraine militarily either since 2023. So they
That's
do
not
have
true.
like
Everything that goes through Poland goes into Ukraine. There's like
Yeah,
Maybe,
but
yeah,
understood.
maybe they don't
But
support it militarily, but economically,
But they
repair-wise
help with the
and
stuff.
such, they do. And they're keeping the military shit for themselves because they need the weapons, because they're growing
yeah,
their
but
army.
this shows Poland has sovereignty. Like NATO can't just dictate them what they have to do.
No, the thing is, they can, then they will, because when in that kind of scenario, you're not talking about Ukraine anymore. Ukraine is a gone state. If you're talking about Russia conquering all the way to Lutz, that is Russian military coming close to NATO. NATO must react, and you're not going to fight in NATO land. You're going to fight in Ukrainian land. That's why NATO will enter war. So you don't go all the way to the border. It's always a bad idea. You cannot just imagine that Poland will make the call. Poland will not be making the call. Trump will be making the call. Trump will say, you take another step forward, we're going to enter war, and then World War III will happen. So
I don't think Trump cares about this. Trump cares about fighting China.
Then you are misunderstanding Trump. No, I tell you, Trump will act, and then he will bring us to World War III if Putin makes such a stupid decision.
Why would Trump even care about this? Because look,
because it's NATO.
Trump,
because it's NATO. NATO is an American thing. It's American power, American influence. They will not allow Russia to go all the way to Poland.
Trump even discussed this dissolving NATO in the past.
Because that's a threat. That's a threat because people are not spending the money. Because if they don't spend the money,
he won't dissolve NATO. He won't do that.
Yeah, he will only dissolve if no one is gonna pay the money, and if no one is gonna pay their fair share, then there is no reason for United States to protect them anymore. They will get kicked out of the alliance, or United States will just quit NATO entirely, and then the whole of Europe on its own is a lame duck.
I honestly think Europe itself doesn't really want NATO to keep existing because America has been an unreliable partner. I think instead they want to create a united European army.
They think they want.
They can try.
Yeah, they think they want. But I can tell you, this Ukraine war just taught them that they cannot. There's the whole reason why the whole of freaking Europe, all the leaders go to Washington to kowtow to Trump. That's the reason, because they know they can't.
Yeah. For example, Germany and NATO overall has ammo for 2 weeks in a war. Do you think Europe could win our war against Russia in 2 weeks? I don't think so.
The whole of Europe is entirely dependent on the Americans for defense. It's entirely dependent. That's why every single country in NATO, after the end of the Cold War, have all defunded their military. Everybody defunded their military, including the UK. Can you imagine Switzerland got more Leopard tank than the Germans? Germany designed and built the Leopard tank, but Switzerland have more Leopard tanks. And I can tell you, Singapore have more Leopard tanks than Germany as well. So,
Don't worry. The Czech Republic has 30 main battle tanks. We will win.
So the thing is, the Europe on its own, as a whole, they have no control over their security anymore. It's all entirely dependent on the Americans, and the Americans call the shots. And no matter what you think of Trump in the end, he is a pro-United States guy. And it's in Americans' interest to keep NATO out of danger. So and Putin will understand that he cannot go close to the NATO border, because that will also create a big problem for themselves. It's not manageable. You don't want a border with NATO. Finland is a non-issue. Finland invade in, that's a non-issue. Ukraine is dangerous. So and you don't want that it will become a permanent threat. Both sides will have to field a million man army. At the border is not a doable thing. It's not
Why
sensible.
exactly is Finland not an issue, and Russia bordering Poland already through Kaliningrad, but
Kaliningrad
Russia
is
taking those?
Kaliningrad is meant to be destroyed in the beginning of the war. Yeah, it's just a distraction. Just like the Baltic states are just a distraction. The Baltic states are meant to be destroyed in the beginning of the war. Unfortunately, those
There is no way to hold such a front.
it's
over
like
the
Okay, but
Baltics.
you play real-time
what about
strategy game,
Finland
right?
and
You build some
Finland?
towers right outside their enemy base. That's what they are. The
And
towers
like,
you can destroy in the beginning.
like looking at like how disarmed NATO is, they're gonna go nuclear if they go to Kaliningrad. That's kind of crazy because that will trigger something.
Yeah.
Also, Europe is, despite being very dependent on the US right now, they're trying to build their own like military industrial complex, so they don't have to depend on America anymore. And I think they're trying to make Germany like had this like European autarkic self military industrial complex.
That's
Because keep in
totally
mind,
crazy. It's like
In my
like
opinion, that is
Wishes
more
that-
symbolic than anything. It's not actually real.
It's an economic thing as well, because if you buy American,
There's no money for that shit.
Yeah, but the thing is, if you buy American, the money flow into the United States. So the whole point is that they're
Yes.
protecting their economy. So if you're going to buy a fighter jet, okay, we're going to buy a European fighter jet so that the money stays within Europe. That's the main reason. It's
Yeah,
not,
but building a European fighter jet will cost like what, 10, 15 years?
or you can buy
When everybody
Eurofighters.
has a say in there. You know how that shit works.
Yeah, you can buy Eurofighter and then get shot down, by Sukhoi 57s later. But they will still do it. Because the point is not about fighting. It's not about winning the war. It's about they have been suppressed by Trump so much to the point where they need to protect themselves. They are already sandwiched by
They're
Russia
finally
and
waking up.
United States. Yeah, they're waking
Right,
up, but there's nothing they can do about it. You see, on one side
Nah.
there's Russia, the other side is America. They're squeezing them on both sides, and they have already cut ties with Russia, so much to the point where there's no way to go back to the relationship with Russia unless they capitulate.
No. The
So
Russians won't even go
so they
there.
have no choice. They can only work with the Americans, and you have Donald Trump on the other side, that is slaughtering them with all the deals. So they can only play within the rules, which is not make the spending, but they try to spend it within Europe. At least
Okay,
that cushions
it really
the
depends it really depends on the country. A lot of EU countries also want to work with China to fill the gap that is right now.
Yeah.
To fill the void created by Russia and now the US under Trump, and a lot of them also want to closely work with Turkey. This is one of the foreign policy objectives of the new German Chancellor too, of Merz. And
with Turkey is possible.
with India is also a good partner.
Yeah.
Huh?
The thing about Turkey is if they instigate a war between Turkey and Russia, they're gonna close the Black Sea. So Crimea is for nothing.
So with Turkey is a NATO member, so that's okay. With China,
So
I don't think that's going to happen because Trump is going to sanction it. So it's not going to work.
It's not gonna work.
Yeah, but
So
like China has a very interesting spot, because on the one hand, the US has beef with China, right? But the EU wants to use a lot of EU countries like France and Spain want to use China to fight the US. They also did this in the 2000s. In the 2000s,
Yeah.
both
On the other
China
side,
and
they
the
want to
US
sanction China, especially in Germany. They're all crazy.
Yeah,
the
Germany,
industry
yeah.
wants to work with them, but the politicians they go against them. Especially like
Yeah, but-
if you look like at von der Leyen and other stuff, in the EU, they go against China, but all the industrials want to work with China. So there's a
Yeah,
split
look,
somehow.
It depends on the country. Like all the Scandinavian countries, Germany, the Baltic states, the Netherlands, and Italy, they and Greece, they don't want to cooperate with China. They also hate China, and I don't really understand what their strategy is. Those countries are just self-destructing themselves.
Yes,
But,
they are because they're dependent on the fucking supply chains. That's
Yeah, but
fucking
like not all
crazy.
EU countries like this. Listen, not all EU countries like this. France, for example, wants to cooperate with China against both the US and Russia. Spain wants to do that. Portugal wants to do that. So Belgium wants to do that. So it's not all of the EU. It's mainly just the Germanic countries inside the EU and the Baltics and
Yeah,
Italy.
because they're all propagandas to the bone, dude. What the hell?
Huh?
There's all Russophobia all over there.
No, the thing is, you have to understand from the France, especially the French perspective, that there is no more big powers left. There's only Russia, China, and United States, and that's it. So Russia,
Europe doesn't have a say.
Russia, you make Russia
Europe
an enemy.
is finally waking up to the point that they're fucking useless.
Yeah. So they made Russia an enemy. Then United States is on this the situation where they're trying to protect themselves.
Wanted. That's what the states wanted. Divide and conquer.
Yeah.
You cannot have a Germany being nice to Russia and Russia being nice to Germany because they would fucking have. It's like you know that the one saying of the
they're gonna have a baby together.
The one Lord Ishmael from NATO. It was like to keep the what was it? Keep the Americans in.
Keep the Russians out.
The Germans down and the Russians out.
So the thing
and
is
that's the main part of NATO.
Yeah, so the only big power left that you can actually deal with is China. But the problem with China is that the Chinese is also going to do divide and conquer. So
I don't think so. I really think they actually really want to do trade.
Oh, of course. But the trade is the divide and conquer.
But I don't really see
they conquer by trade.
But the problem is okay, I get it. Like once they're in the position, they could use it.
Yeah. So
why not?
So they will try.
But the Americans have been using that shit for decades, and we all they're our friends.
So it's
smart
because we all the perfect vassals.
Because it's simple. Because if you imagine the entire Western Europe, the westernmost Europe, because France, Spain, and Portugal,
it would just be a change of fucking positions.
Yeah, if they buy
the same shit but under a different name.
Yeah, so
the difference.
The thing is, as long as the extreme West Europe, which is France, Spain, and Portugal, if let's say they're going to turn to China and then they're going to side with China, going to buy China and buy their military and whatnot, then the whole of Europe will fracture instantly.
Yeah, but wait. Yeah, because of NATO. Because Mr. Rutte said he's going to go against China now. But wait. NATO is North Atlantic Treaty Organization and not North Pacific. What the fuck?
Yeah. So
they kind of got lost.
So that's
in the
also
way,
wrong.
Dude.
But the thing is,
somewhere else they shouldn't be there.
It's a geopolitical thing. But the thing is that they cannot
let
China infiltrate in.
Political, it's a joke thing.
but the thing is,
I'm sorry.
They cannot let the Chinese come in.
You're right.
Because it will fracture NATO, it will fracture EU.
It's just power play, dude.
And on top of that, the you have to understand how the situation moving forward for economics is now. There will be no more earning money from the Americans and buy Chinese, because the Americans now is enforcing balanced trade. So if you enforce balanced trade, there's no such thing as surplus from the United States, so that you have this extra money to buy Chinese goods. It's not. So if you trade with the Chinese, you're going to have a trade imbalance, and then all your money is going to flow into China, and then you're going to lose a lot of money. So it's not so straightforward anymore. Things is going to be very complicated for the Europeans.
On another way, I have to say, the tariffs that Trump imposes is like it kind of grew the trade deficit with other countries bigger. So that means they got more stuff, like we said before, before the tariffs hit, they filled up the warehouses and stuff just to keep the prices low. Then they stopped importing shit.
That's temporary. But that's only temporary. Moving forward, United States is going to build their own manufacturing. unless it's
Yeah,
a
but it
useless type.
takes 15 years at least.
No,
but
no.
some people say I'm
1 to 2
crazy.
years
It's
at
only
most.
going to take 5 years.
Nah,
But
nah.
they don't see the supply chains you need, because every supply chain right now leads to China.
No,
I'm
it's going to
sorry.
be very fast. Like it will be
Really?
100%. It's going to surprise you. It's
Is
going to take
that,
1 to 2
I
years.
think-
Things is going to be really fast. You have to understand
maybe just
when
too
they move.
negative.
You
Yeah,
have to move
it's
factories from
possible.
China to Vietnam. That happens within 1 to 2 years. It's super fast.
Yeah, because of the investment from China.
Yeah.
and
So the
building
thing is, there
factories
is
and
massive
shit.
investment now in United States.
You know how many Chinese cars are now built in Thailand or Vietnam? That's crazy. Like there's brands over there we'd never heard about.
Yeah. But the one they have to do that because within China is a blood-soaked market. Everybody's
I
losing
know
money.
because
there.
the workers cost more now than before.
It's not just that. They are having a massive price war over there. So inside China,
Oh.
they are having massive price war. So everybody's losing money. The only way they can earn money is to go out of China. That's where they earn money.
Yeah. That's
I-
why
I-
they're
I
trying to
think that
build
Europe
up
is already
the African
fractured,
economy
like,
too.
in the
That's
2000s
like what
already.
the Europeans never did for 400 years. They just like kept them small. The only railroads the Europeans built was from from an extraction site for iron ore to the coast to the harbor. That's it, and that's the only infrastructure they built.
So
Of
anyway,
course, it looks more appealing for the Africans to go with the Chinese, and that's probably where they catch them.
yeah,
You know?
yeah. No, it's not wrong. No, the Africans should take whatever the Chinese would give,
Yeah.
and build up whatever they can. So
Yes, because it helps them.
Yeah.
Because we've been pushing them. I'm saying that as a German, as a European, we've been pushing them down for 400 years to instilling their resources. Dude,
no, but you can't.
that's how we got rich over here.
It's not stealing. You guys conquer them. So no, it's not
Huh?
stealing. It's conquer. So because if you
Yeah, the French did it. They still have the CFR today, the colonial franc, the money.
But you
they
see,
just
that's the
call
whole
it
point of conquest,
freedom
right?
franc now.
No, so that's the whole point of conquest, right? No, if you
I know.
there's no point to
You
conquer
make
if
him,
there's
you
no
make him
resources.
like
So
yeah.
for example, the Russians, they conquered Donbass. They are now already selling goods made in Donbass
yes
already.
and also
So
like
you cannot
they
say
get
that it's
drain
the
from-
Russians
they
stole
they
the
get the drain from
European stuff,
Donbass.
right? But it's not stole, you see, they conquered. So the same thing happened in the colonial times. It's conquered. They just lost the war. They just have to accept that no, you are colonized, and then they are taken.
Yeah, but I think Donbass voted for it too.
Yeah, I mean,
If it's true,
take
though,
that with a pinch
there's
of
a lot of
salt, no?
propaganda within it.
Yeah, take it with a pinch of salt. No, the thing is that's how
we never know
colonial.
what's really true though.
That's the whole point of
Like
conquest,
you
right?
know, like South Ossetia, the Russians gave out a lot of passports, and then they were all Russian. You know,
Yeah, I
you
don't
never
know.
know.
Okay, can I speak out now, please? So I wanted to say that Europe is already pretty much fractured. Like you could already see the rift between the Euro-Atlantis and the sovereign EU. EU is in the 2000s already when the Iraq War happened. Because remember, back then already, Germany and France, for example, condemned the Iraq War, whereas Italy and Spain, for example, and Poland supported it.
Yeah, you know, I have to say about that, Germany condemning the Iraq War. Most of the shit was coming out of Ramstein base, so it was coordinated from there. Then what the politicians back then did, like SPD and the Greens, there was just a smoke screen. They were against it, but actually it was coming from within Germany, from the Ramstein base. It was coordinated from there. I'm sorry. They just like did that to make the population stop from protesting over there. But there were still some protests, but not that wide, not that big as they should have been.
To
Really.
my knowledge, they gave financial help, but they did not send any weapons.
What we did do is like policing actions later on. when the next government came in, I think.
Yeah, Merkel was much more pro-American than Schroeder's SPD.
Yeah, but still, they were. No matter what you vote in Germany, they have to be pro-American, otherwise to get out. Or
Well, I mean,
even
Schroeder
if there's
did
an
condemn the US.
even if somebody vote, I'm not voting AFD. But even if the AFD comes into power, I'm pretty sure they're gonna dance after the fucking US tune. Sorry.
Yeah,
That's how it works.
the geopolitics don't change.
No matter who's in power in Germany, they have to dance again after the US tune.
Yeah, the geopolitics
It's
don't
just
change.
like my objective view.
Anyway, I need to go now. So I need need to
Alright.
do the real open mic later. So anyway, you guys can continue.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks for having us, dude.
Okay, bye bye.
Uh,
Peace out.